Alright. Now I'm going to try streaming what is most likely my favorite game, Majesty. But I'm going to be playing using a very lovely mod in the Steam Workshop called Majestic Majesty. But I'm using an old version of it because the most recent version sadly has some issues. Get that controller out of the way. But it's lovely all the same. I'm not going to be trying to do anything special here. I'm just going to play the game. But I figure I'll start at the beginning. I'm not going to clear my victories, but I've played this game enough that I have a pretty good idea of the order of things. There's not a fixed order, but you have to play the easier levels before you can play the harder levels. The Bell, the Book, and the Candle. Generally gonna be the first one people play.
Forgive the intrusion,
My royal advisor, Sean Connery.
Someone has stolen the magic bell, the holy book, and the eternal candle. Right from under our noses, they were whisked away from the royal treasury by some scoundrel. We must do something to recover them. They are treasures beyond value.
I probably won't let all of the voice play for these, but it's amusing. No warriors or wizards are available in this quest. Oh no. Yep, tutorial stuff. Some desktop notifications jumping out in front of me.
Your Highness, we've improved the guardhouse.
Majestic Majesty adds some unique buildings and changes the basic mechanics of some of the buildings. I like it a lot better than the base game, actually.
Majesty, the local blacksmith
I think it
offers new
just
services.
makes the game better in every way. It's incredible, actually, considering how much I already like this game. I've played a lot. My gameplay tracker over here says I've played 1,300 hours of this game. That doesn't mean I'm an expert or anything, but it does mean I enjoy the game. I should probably try to win, though. Yeah.
The local blacksmith offers new services. Sovereign, a building has been upgraded.
I'm not a big fan of gnomes, although they're a lot better in Majestic Majesty than they are in the base game.
A building has been upgraded.
Although they're pretty fantastic for quick levels like this one.
Your Highness, we've
I don't really know why I upgraded that, but whatever.
A new building is complete.
I can do whatever I want, I'm not gonna lose. I don't have to speedrun the game.
Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services.
Can upgrade my palace, hooray! Having 4 heroes is what allows you to upgrade your palace. First time, that is.
A new building is complete. Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
As you get more buildings in your kingdom, sewers start to appear, and you can't remove them because they're necessary.
Majesty,
Logically.
the local blacksmith offers new services.
But rats and rat men can come out of them.
Now serves you better.
I don't hear too many people talk about Majesty, which is a pity because it's a very good game. It's a fairly unique sort of RTS in that you don't actually control anything directly except for the construction of buildings. Your heroes that you recruit from these guilds just run around and do stuff based on their personalities. You can influence them with reward flags, like if I want somebody to try to explore into this corner, I can put a flag there, put some money on it, and somebody will go after it. Rogues are generally greedy and motivated by reward flags, but rangers like to explore, so they're pretty motivated by explore flags too.
Has been upgraded. Sovereign, a building has been upgraded.
Various buildings generate money over time, and there are a variety of ways in which you make money. but your tax collectors have to go and collect it. And tax collectors are favored targets of things like ratmen and trolls. Leave it to the trolls to want to kill your tax collectors.
Your Majesty, the royal treasury is nearly empty.
Upgrading my marketplace causes it to generate more money. And in particular, whenever caravans from trading posts come once a day, it multiplies the amount of money they're carrying, which is based on the distance to the marketplace, by the level of the marketplace. They are a very valuable way of making money.
Your marketplace now serves you better. Your Majesty.
Various temples are available. So I have a level 2 palace. There are conflicting religions, so you can only use deities that agree with each other. Ralm hates everyone, for example. But it has some fairly powerful heroes. I don't usually use them, but I'm going to this time just for the heck of it. Get exploring to find the place that the Bell, the Book, and the Candle is hiding.
In the name of the sovereign.
Immediately, a rogue is going after it. The further away a reward flag is, in particular for exploration, the more money needs to be on it to motivate heroes. It's generally proportional to the difficulty. Telling me that this is where one of the things is. I need these guys to beat it up, so motivate them with some money. Now that I have a level 3 blacksmith and level 2 palace, I can build a dwarven settlement, which is incredibly awesome. Definitely my favorite non-human race. You can have gnomes, dwarves, or elves. Elves kinda suck, in my opinion, because they cause gambling halls and stuff to appear, which make your heroes throw away their money and waste their time. But dwarven settlements allow you to get dwarves, which are incredible builders and very powerful fighters, and it allows you to build ballista towers, which are extremely useful defensive buildings. So I'm a fan. And in Majestic Majesty, dwarves are a little nicer because they don't move quite as slowly. The way that the stats affect heroes is different in this mod.
Your Majesty, a new building is complete. Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services.
Unplug my headset. The cord's getting on my nerves.
Your Majesty, the royal treasury is nearly empty.
More.
Halt!
Change the amount of gold that a tax collector will wait for before going out. It can help keep them from dying as often. A hero died, oh no.
In the name of the sovereign.
Also change the amount that they'll try to collect before they come back, which is useful as well, so you don't have tax collectors going out to one building and then coming back over and over again and wasting their own time. Should recruit some barbarians since I have the ability. It's a lot of spiders. Rogues are not very strong, sadly. Giant army of spiders is not the greatest thing for their health. This Rage of Crawl mobility increases the health, movement speed, and damage of all of the heroes in your kingdom, which is very powerful, but it doesn't last for very long. But it can save lives. Gives them an extra 10 hit points, I believe. When you have a large number of heroes, it makes a very big difference, though. Not too surprisingly. Teleportation amulets are useful, but not a big deal. That 1,000 gold is better spent elsewhere for the most part. Not explore. There we go. Evil Oculus. Bane of mages. Well, wizards. Extremely high resistance stat. They can paralyze heroes. Very dangerous. Dwarven settlement itself will actually retaliate against enemies as well. Once this gets destroyed, I win, so...
We are victorious, Your Majesty!
Hooray. That's the bell, the book, and the candle completed.
The bell, the book, and candle are back in their rightful place. We also found the thief who stole them from the castle. A rogue identified as Cherrick of Keldern.
Yep, got away. Lots of money on his head. Alright. Some moderately interesting statistics. More interesting on more complicated levels, though. So, I'll play another beginner level. Barren Waste.
Do not despair, Your Majesty. Though this swamp
Not amazing and beautiful. Build a fairground. Okay. Unfortunately, the ground sucks apparently. Get to a level 3 palace to build a fairgrounds. Well, rangers are usually a safe bet for getting yourself started because they like to explore. And you generally want to build a marketplace as early as possible. You generally want to have a guardhouse near it. Help protect it from ratmen who want to steal the gold from it, among other issues. Now, since I only have 2 peasants with a level 1 palace, it takes some time to get things built. You can either, build one at a time so that you get 2 peasants building one structure, or just spread them out. It's not super important in most cases, but some levels you have to build up things very rapidly, so you have to be very careful. What are the limits on this one? No non-human races or wizards. Okay, so can't get dwarves, which is a pity, but not that big of a deal. The bank, because they just generate money over time. As your heroes become more powerful, it becomes a bigger deal having it.
Your Highness, if our kingdom is to prosper, it needs more heroes. Sovereign, your marketplace
Healing potions are vital. Heroes can go and buy them, and then they don't die horrible deaths as often. If they're smart enough to buy them, and have the gold for it.
Sovereign, Your marketplace now serves you better.
Read that. I want to build a trading post as soon as possible, but it has to be far enough away from my marketplace for it to allow me to build it. I have no reason to try to put it super far away at this point in the game, though, so... Just building one was the important part.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded. Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services. Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
I can upgrade my palace, but I don't have the gold for it, but that's okay. Won't take too long to get that sorted out. Once I get the trading post built and this marketplace to level 3, I should have a pretty significant amount of money pretty rapidly.
Now serves you better. Tax collector. Hold your Majesty. Sovereign, a building has been upgraded. Your Majesty, a new building is complete. Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services.
Alright. So I should start getting a pretty good amount of money here in the next one in-game day. As my caravans just magically appear with money.
Your Highness, we've improved the guardhouse. Hold your Majesty. Tax collector.
Rogues will actually steal from your own buildings, which is not that big of a deal, but it can be a little bit inconvenient at times. Inns are useful because your heroes can run to those instead of running all the way back to their home if they're injured or running away from danger. And they generate money as well. Getting my first caravan here soon. Another trading post though. Normally I'd build them as far away as possible, but that's not strictly necessary, so I'm not going to.
Hold your Majesty. Tax collector. Your Majesty, a new building is complete. Majesty, your trading post now offers healing potions.
Good find.
Going to build a rogues guild, I believe. Extra heroes to make some more money up here. Recruiting heroes will cause houses to appear, and houses primarily just generate money. Majestic Majesty, they serve some extra purposes, but still, mainly for making money.
Tax collector. Tax collector. Hold your Majesty.
I'll have to destroy that eventually, in the name of completing the quest.
Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
It'll tell me that I have to destroy that to get the components for a spell to harden the ground so that I can actually build that fairgrounds. Upgrading a rogues guild causes this steal money from all of your buildings thing to be more efficient, and it allows your heroes to poison their weapons, which is pretty useful actually. It's a fair bit of extra damage they get to deal against things.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded.
Trolls like to attack marketplaces and trading posts. They just kinda do. They appear out of thin air next to them.
My ambition has paid off.
Castle Darkmoor.
The royal treasury is nearly empty. I ho.
In keeping with tradition, trolls heal over time, more quickly than other things.
Gold, Your Majesty. Tax collector. Gold, Your Majesty.
Unwelcome guest.
Tax collector.
Next on the agenda, though, here is going to be getting a level 2 palace.
I ho.
That'll speed things along.
Gold, Your Majesty. Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services. I feel vitalized.
You can destroy lairs to stop extra enemies from appearing, but it's also kind of useful to leave them alive because it gives your heroes something to fight to level up. Just depends upon what you're trying to accomplish and what you need to accomplish. I'll build another guardhouse. Guardhouses are a place that tax collectors and peasants can go. Tax collectors can drop off the money at guardhouses. They generally choose whatever the closest thing is, your palace or a guardhouse. But sometimes they make questionable choices. It's in here, I believe. Guardhouse. There. Ratmen can steal massive amounts of money from marketplaces. Thousands and thousands of gold. So you generally want to stop that.
Your Highness, the palace renovations are finished.
Telling me it takes 12 heroes to get a level 3 palace.
In the name of the sovereign.
Level 2 palace, again, allows you to get temples. I generally favor Agrella and Doros for healers and monks, and paladins at Warriors Guild, as opposed to the cultists and priestesses of Purvis and Crypta, and the Warriors of Discord due to Purvis at the Warriors Guild. It's not that big of a deal either way, but some are better than others for certain missions. Preference is a pretty significant factor, though.
A new building is complete. In the name of the sovereign.
Tough fight.
More gold, Your Majesty. Your Majesty.
At this point, all I actually have to do is get a level 3 palace and build the fairgrounds, and I just win.
The guardhouse.
Oh no, a vampire. Vampires can cast magic mirror on themselves, so that your wizards and priestesses and stuff, if they cast spells on them, it bounces back. It's bad news.
The The local blacksmith offers
Vampires
you
are
services.
moderately dangerous, just in general. Pretty decent combat stats, and they can heal themselves. But just one vampire is not that big of a deal. Even though it destroyed my guardhouse, it's not that important.
An unwelcome guest.
In the name of the sovereign. Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
These manors are an addition of Majestic Majesty. Whenever you get a certain number of house placements, a manor will appear next instead, and they have some effects.
My ambition has paid off. Tax collector. Your Majesty, a new building is complete. Your Majesty.
Alright, I just have to let that get built, then build fairgrounds, and I win.
You won't get my gold.
I'm usually not in much of a hurry to win, but
Move the guardhouse.
I'm not going to screw around too much since I'm streaming this.
My ambition has paid off. In the name of the sovereign. Your Majesty.
Fairgrounds are very useful buildings. They allow your heroes to participate in competitions in order to level up. Hardened ground spell from destroying the Dark Castle. Yep. Oh, I destroyed the Dark Castle. Who would have guessed? Now I'm allowed to build the fairgrounds. I just hit this extort button to automatically collect all the taxes that are available, but lose some of it because it was enough for me to be able to build the fairgrounds, which is all that really matters. So that's that. Once that finishes, I just win. There, warrior, whatever.
The royal treasury is nearly empty.
Statues are not able to be built manually in Majestic Majesty, and they're a lot more valuable. Getting an extra peasant is incredible, and it makes your henchmen better. They move faster. And the ones that deal damage deal more damage.
Your Majesty, a new building is complete. We are victorious,
That.
Your Majesty. It's done, Majesty.
Yep, did stuff. Cool. Oh, let's try a different level. Something... Well, I guess I could do Rescue the Prince. It's the other beginner level. Well, one of the other beginner levels. There are actually 4 of them right there. 5 of them right here. Although those ones aren't all that interesting. So I'll just, at least not in terms of somebody who's played the game a lot. So I'll play one of the more difficult ones, like... Well... Free the Slaves is a pretty good one.
Disturbing rumors have reached my...
People have been getting kidnapped. Save them. It starts me with gnomes. Oh well. Much as I dislike gnomes, perfectly happy to use them. They are quite good, in fact. I just prefer having access to the ballista towers from dwarves overall. These ballista towers don't have scaling cost, whereas everything else does. Gnomes are interesting in that you're not able to build more than one gnome hovel. They build automatically as you recruit gnomes. In the base game, you can only have 3 gnome hovels, but it stops building them after the 3rd one appears. In Majestic Majesty, it's possible to get more.
Your Majesty, our new building is complete. Your Majesty, our new building is complete.
In the original game of Majesty, before the expansion came out, gnomes were very weak in general, but after the expansion at level 8, they upgraded into a new kind of hero, gnome champions that had armor, better health, and better weaponry. And they still had all their abilities from before, but they were just better. It made them significantly less likely to just drop dead, as they were wont to do. It was a pretty big problem. Another reason that gnomes were bad news, basically, the original game.
Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services.
Well, jerks aren't exploring, and I don't want to pay them to do it, so I'll just hire rangers. Now, I'm not 100% certain what the trigger is for extra gnome hovels being built in Majestic Majesty, but it doesn't matter. Even if I only wind up 3 hovels, it's fine. Gnomes are quick, they're good at building, and they're cheap.
Your Majesty, our new building is complete. More gold, Your Majesty.
Ranger. And hopefully it'll start exploring. I would like to build a trading post, but I haven't explored far enough away from my marketplace yet. Rangers are generally intelligent heroes, so the first thing they usually do is buy healing potions. Some heroes will never buy healing potions, some of them rarely buy healing potions. Like Warriors of Discord are bad about not buying healing potions. But they're quite strong, they have a lot of life. They can deal a massive amount of damage, but they're slow and not very smart.
My ambition has paid off.
Gave me some gold to help find the kidnapped people. Cool. That built. That upgrade that.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded. Your Majesty, our new building is complete. More gold, Your Majesty. Sovereign, a building has been upgraded. Tax collector.
Whenever the video hiccups, it's because I've defocused the game.
Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services.
Rat coming and stealing from my marketplace. Fortunately, the gold that they steal gets distributed amongst the heroes who were present for it dying. Gnomes and dwarves gain experience from building stuff. It's so they can wind up being fairly high level pretty quickly with no risk of being murdered along the way. And rogues can rob gravestones. Which means rogues generally have the money available to buy whatever they need to buy.
Get my gold. Majesty, a newly discovered outpost has agreed to join your kingdom.
Some houses floating around in the wilderness. I can turn them off the tax route so my tax collectors don't go stumbling over there and dying. Alrighty then, caravan means money. Only 250 gold on it, but every little bit counts.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded.
And that'll be 250 gold times 3. This poor ranger is going to die a horrible death, most likely. That's how it is. Won't be able to aid me anymore. Oh well.
More gold, Your Majesty.
There's a slave
Majesty,
pit.
the local blacksmith offers new services.
She'll release some heroes whenever it's destroyed. I don't know exactly which kinds you're going to get. Good to have an inn so that they're able to flee whenever they get injured. Otherwise they just die horribly. There's nothing they can do about it. They won't have anywhere to go.
An unwelcome.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded. Sovereign, a building has been upgraded. Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
An unwelcome guest.
That rat man does not want that tax collector to live.
Your Majesty. Tax collector. More gold, Your Majesty.
Probably build a trading post next to this inn once I get a little bit of gold. Probably slap a guardhouse down here soon. The sound of a caravan reaching the marketplace successfully.
You won't get my gold.
Well, of course, a troll coming along. Hopefully it won't attack that trading post that hasn't even started construction.
Gold, Your Majesty.
Hey. Some money. Level 2 palace soon.
Majesty, a new building is complete.
Alright. That will help a lot.
An unwelcome
Not mean to do that.
Your Majesty, the royal treasury is nearly empty.
But just a gnome.
Your Highness, the palace
gnome died.
renovations are finished.
Pity. These things happen. Next on the list is going to be a guardhouse here because otherwise this trading post is just going to get destroyed. Probably happen anyway, but it would be good to try to prevent it. Hopefully these gnomes will get here in a sensible time frame. Nope, they did not. Oh well. It's happened. Build it again. Berserking. Which is not good. He has very little regard for his own safety.
But just a gnome.
Poor gnome.
I wasn't trying to hurt you.
Oh no, goblins is...
Your Majesty, a new building is complete. Your Highness, we've
join
improved the
the
guardhouse.
wild
Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
Tax collector.
Fountains give you an extra tax collector. Pretty cool. Build a warriors guild to house some of these warrior type
Building
people.
has been
Like a
upgraded.
paladin, for example.
Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
There we go. More of them dudes will have somewhere to go.
Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services.
I have.
Your Majesty,
Your Majesty.
the royal treasury is nearly empty.
Halt.
Gnomes and gnomes and gnomes.
But just a gnome.
By default, houses won't get repaired, but when you have gnomes, it's very worth it to have houses on the repair route. They can scatter around and do lots of repairs.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded.
In the name of the sovereign.
Highness, we've improved
Build a
the
temple to
guardhouse.
Agrella next. Healers are pretty. Oh, well, that's just lovely. Stole 3,000 gold, 900 gold, another 1,200 gold. This is ridiculous. As the wealthiest rat man in the universe.
Unwelcome guest.
Hold your majesty.
3,000 gold for those dudes. And that's why I like having dwarves, because you can put ballista towers on top of all the sewer entrances so that that stops happening.
Tough fight.
Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
Tough fight.
Hold your majesty.
Searched. Okay.
In the name of the sovereign.
Your Highness, we've improved the guardhouse. Majesty, a newly discovered outpost has agreed to join your kingdom.
I have.
Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services.
Hold your majesty.
Moros. I have a lot of money. Good level 3 palace then. Tower, I suppose. They're useful to have. Wizard Guild, that is. Wizard Towers are another thing. Giant army of rat men.
Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
Giant army of rats.
In the name of the sovereign.
Well, this is certainly going to be an interesting experience for everyone. Steal the money from that. Paladin. Monks are very powerful, but they make questionable life choices.
Palace renovations are finished.
Just kind of stand around doing nothing.
A newly discovered outpost has agreed to join your kingdom. Sovereign, a building has been upgraded.
One step closer to oblivion.
Your Majesty, a new
Should
building
build
is
an
complete.
inn here too.
Your trading post now offers healing potions.
My precious houses.
I join the wild spirits. An unwelcome guest.
In the name of
Healers are very bad in combat, but they can heal. So it's very useful.
Your Majesty, a new building is complete. Your Highness,
Build a Temple Blue Nord here in a minute. Adepts are a very lovely hero type. So are the Soleri from the Temple to keep that up, but I'm a big fan of Blue Nord. It all comes down to playstyle.
Energies of light.
An unwelcome guest.
in the name of the sovereign.
I serve with
Energies of light.
Paladins are one of the most powerful hero types. It's one reason I like to use Agrella and Doros.
Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
Paladins aren't crazy idiots usually. They'll run away when danger's too great.
Holy are you.
Actually buy healing potions and armor and stuff.
In the name of the sovereign.
Adepts are very fast and run around all over the place. Patrol your city, so if you don't have ballista towers, they're extra useful. They help minimize the damage caused by roaming rat men.
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, the royal treasury is nearly empty.
A foul beast approaches. My prowess is unmatched.
In the name
Keep
of
it
the
coming.
The waiting is the hardest part. Libraries are useful for a variety of purposes. I'm gonna build a fairgrounds next.
Your Majesty, our new building is complete.
Just having the library is useful by itself. Alright. Guardhouses get quite expensive. Such a pity. How it is.
tax collector.
Spirit Troll.
Your Majesty, our new building is complete.
Suddenly, I'm incredibly wealthy.
You won't get my gold.
Upgrade some temples
Your
here.
Majesty, our new building is complete.
Wizard's Guild just lets people get more powerful weapon enchants. Pretty handy. Get that researched. Now that's bad. Those are a thing from Majestic Majesty. Whenever too many henchmen die,
Your Majesty,
they will spit out exceedingly powerful little enemies that will attempt to obliterate your buildings, among other things. They will succeed.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded.
Pestilence and
Sovereign,
decay.
a building has been upgraded. Sovereign, your marketplace now serves you better. Sovereign, a building has been upgraded. Your Highness, our research in the library is complete. I'm done for. The library is complete. Your Majesty,
Energies of light.
our new building is complete. Your Highness, we've improved the guardhouse.
I didn't even do anything. Ah, I guess I better build yet another Warriors Guild.
Has been upgraded.
A level 3 Temple to Agrella lets me cast the Resurrection spell, which is pretty neat. So if a hero died very recently, I can spend a bunch of gold to resurrect them.
Sovereign, a building building has been upgraded.
Forgot to start having tournaments. There we go.
To oblivion.
Your Highness, our research in the library is complete.
These are auto-generated structures here. Shrines are a unique thing to Majestic Majesty, which are moderately complicated,
A new building is complete.
but useful.
In the name of the sovereign.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded.
Paladin. Upgrade this library soon. They generate a pretty good amount of money. The more heroes you have, the more money they generate, because they generate money based on the total intelligence of all of your heroes.
Mandate just.
Having smart heroes makes you get extra money just by having libraries.
Sovereign,
It's a much more interesting function compared to the original one where it was just heroes could come learn some stuff there. If they were smart enough to, which most of them weren't. Like a miracle to get a hero to come and learn a spell at the library.
has been upgraded.
My goodness, that spiritual's been alive for so long. Its health just keeps rising.
An ill wind blows near.
Majesty, your trading post
Level
now
2
offers
now,
trade.
I'm not going to spend gold to
We've
resurrect it.
improved the guardhouse.
The dead heroes are bad because they'll cause you to get graveyards in your kingdoms, which spit out undead all the time. So letting wimpy heroes like that die is not great. Hard to prevent. Having oceans of healers can help, but if they're gnomes, they can die in one hit. They're very wimpy. Majestic Majesty made the base unit warrior. Doesn't require a temple to build from or to recruit from Warriors Guild. Actually useful because when they reach level 10, it gives you a special henchman unit that's quite powerful.
Give me speed, Lunord.
Now I just have to kill this dude and I win.
I join the wild spirit.
So now that guy was level 10, and resurrecting him would be good. I'm gonna extort all this massive quantity of money here.
I join
Resurrect this dude.
spirits.
And this one. Now, in the northern expansion, the resurrection spell from Agrella will revive them at their guild. But both the Crypto one and the Agrella one revive them where they died in the base game. Whereas in the northern expansion, the Crypto resurrection spell revives them with half of their health, but right where they died.
I join the wild spirits.
They both have their benefits.
Ooh, tough fight.
Cast some buff spells on your heroes. Helps them out.
Sovereign, a building has been upgraded. Your Highness, our research in the library is complete.
An ill wind blows near.
Vigilance to make them deal more damage and attack faster. Blessing give them better combat stats.
I am enlightened.
Paladins are pretty powerful.
Victorious, Your Majesty.
That's that level done. Well, that puts me up to an hour for the stream so far. I think I'll take a break for now. But, hopefully what few people have seen this enjoyed it. I'll probably continue trying to stream stuff. Once I get some more people who like to watch, then we'll try to tailor that to their desires. So, hope anybody who watches this when I upload it to YouTube and people who watched it now enjoy it. But for now, I